Welcome, everybody, to the Original Rebels Racing League. My name's Joe Wright, and I'm here at Talladega Super Speedway with my guy Joshua Hall with Intensity Broadcast. And Josh, how's it going?
Man, doing well. How about you?
Oh, I'm great. This is our playground here at Talladega. Me and you learned how to drive and play iRacing all here, mostly.
Yeah, we have lots of experience running leagues here and F&D as well as a couple other super speedway leagues, and I'm looking forward to watching these guys tangle here at Talladega.
And while we have a second, I want to talk about a couple of things. First off, this is the Hambone Productions.
Yeah, Hambone Productions is a professionally designed, state-of-the-art digital recording environment where the best in equipment and facilities provide the perfect setting for your next project, all at affordable prices. To discuss your next recording project, contact nationally known recording artist and award-winning producer Robbie Heiner for an appointment. They're at Timberland Road, Suite 7 in Lynchburg, Virginia. Reach them at 434-229-8267.
Last week we had the Rogue Swirl 75 from Bristol Motor Speedway, and man, Kieran Church putting it away.
Yeah, he held off a couple drivers there as he took he didn't take tires for a while. He was on older tires for most of the race and ended up coming home with the victory. So great job for him.
Yes, sir. And then Zach Wetstein is your points leader currently. And he's got 4 wins. William Griffith, our spotlight driver tonight, no wins, but sitting there in that second spot. Garrett Kinder, 3rd. Josh Oswald, 4th. And Tia Swank, 5th. Now, Josh, what do you know about Talladega Super Speedway? Isn't there some crazy stuff that goes on here?
The infield is nuts here, but yeah, Talladega itself is just an interesting track. Shaped a little bit differently than normal. It's a D-shaped super speedway, but the start-finish line is well past the front, the tri-oval there, so it makes for some exciting races coming to the finish.
And speaking of our spotlight driver, William Griffith, age 37, from Jonesboro, Tennessee. Current city is Pelham, Alabama. Best finish, 2nd at Bristol. And like I said, 2nd in the standings right now. Full-time student and Army stuff, he says, is occupation, college, business, ED, and networking. Family is Shara, his wife, and 3 kids, Peyton, Elliot, and Olivia. Ryan Blaney's his favorite driver, so hence the number 12. And, well, now, William, I've become your friend. Favorite movie, Dr. Strangelove, and hobbies. Will build sim racing equipment, build to make various things. And favorite quote, no, babe, I've had that for a few months now. Yeah, that's my favorite quote, too.
Yeah, so out on track right now. We got a few cars still out there making their qualifying runs. At the top of the board right now, though, Josh Lokovitz with a 55.85, and Jeff Paisley with a 55.86. Ray Page, William Griffith, and Brandon Wallace and Christian Dedman all with 55.87s. Tia Swank in 88. Kyle Roberts and Lance Boodberg both ran 89s. So real tight qualifying right now, right up at the front of the field. The top 10 separated by less than 0.5 of a second.
Yeah, pretty awesome qualifying from those guys to put it away that close to each other. And as you and I know, a little bobble in 3 and 4 can cost you 5, 6, 7, 10 positions. So,
yeah, let me rephrase that. The top 5 are within 5/100ths of a second.
we have 4 cars from 3rd to 7th that have the same time. Am I correct or no?
That is correct. So it's real tight up at the front here, and we got a couple cars still to make their qualifying attempts. And some people may not qualify. I see Brett Retterer on track right now making his qualifying attempt in the 97 machine.
Garrett Kinder's rolling in the 76 as well as we look at him on track. In that Bullet Bourbon machine, man, he had a great car early in the race last week at Bristol, but found himself in some trouble later on, leading way for Kieran Church to come away. And Brett Rederer had a great run as well, didn't he, Josh?
Yeah, Brett was having a great run until he got caught up towards the end of the race. And yeah, I expect to see these guys a super speedway race, and it's anybody's race. Anybody can win this race tonight.
And Josh and I still working through this split screen thing, but thinbluelineusa.com, a little split screen intensity action here as we watch Rederer come through the tri-oval and hit that short shoot on his way to the line for his time. Let's see what he's got for him.
It looks like he's going to finish up with a 55.93, and that's going to do it for him. It looks like he's just doing one lap.
Yeah, he's about 8/100ths off the lead, and that puts him in the 14th spot. So as we watch Garrett Kinder on a time lap now, see what he's got for him as he comes down through the tri-oval, and he's going to take his first time lap here. So
yeah, he was running real high against the wall through 3 and 4, so we see him right down on that yellow line for his time laps. What you want to do, you want to run that high line through your first lap. Try to get that truck wound up the best you can, get all that speed, and then some people like to run it along the yellow line all the way around the track. He moves up a little bit to try to get a little bit of momentum off the corner and down into the next corner. So I know me and Joe like to run right up against the wall on the straightaways here, but everybody's got their own little way to do it. As you see him coming through 3 and 4 right down on that yellow line. That's what you want to see.
yeah, I want to see if he's going to bring it down on the apron here. Some guys like to run the apron through the tri-oval. Some people pick up speed, some don't. It's all about how you steer that car, man. I'm telling you. This Garrett Kinder looks like he's going to stay up a little bit. Going to swoop it down coming through the tri-oval, and it's going to let it hang out a little bit more to the line, and he's going to come away with a 16th position. And as you can see on screen how tight it is through the top 20, only 1/10 of a second separating the 20.
Yeah, that's incredible having that many trucks that close together. It's going to make for a wild night tonight.
It sure is, and man, I'm excited for it. We'll see what happens here, but so far so good.
Already got a couple shout outs here. We got Scott Adcock saying, "Dad, watching you, Aaron Adcock." Robbie Heiner says, "Here watching my son Chris Heiner race tonight." And Eddie Morris says, "Best broadcasters in the business."
All right, starting on your pole position is going to be the 79 machine of Josh Lokenvitz. Second is going to find Jeff Paisley. Watch out for Jeff. He's been known to do well here at the Super Speedways. Ray Page going to roll off third in that 41 machine, and in the fourth spot's going to be William Griffith.
In the fifth spot, Brandon Wallace in the 99 machine. And on the outside, Christian Dedman in the 3. In the 7th spot, Tia Swank in the 66, and rolling off outside of row 4 is Kyle Roberts in the 35.
In 9th, you got Lance Spawnberg. In the 10th spot's going to see Rich Yeoman. Josh Oswald's going to roll off 11th. And Sam Wetstein, Zach's dad, in that 12th spot.
13th is Zach Wetstein in the 4. And then Brett Rederer outside of row 7. Row 8 is going to see Charlie Elmore in the 20 machine on the inside. And Garrett Kinder in the 76, rolling off 16th.
Jason Lawridge is going to roll off 17th. Bill Manzo 18th. Ryan Rupert's going to start 19th with Mickey Isaac in that 20th spot.
21st is going to be Aaron Adcock in the 23. And then Christopher Heiner in the 22nd spot in 24 truck. James McClendon rolling off 23rd. And Mike Veith in the 9 rolling off 24th.
25th is going to see Matt Geis. And we're just going to round this out, Josh. 26, Alex Veith's, they're flipping back and forth. Logan Sturgeon's going to roll off 27th. Alex Veith, 28th. Kieran Church is going to start in that 30th spot with Dave Jones in the 29th. Magic Mike Uribe on the outside in that 77. And Eddie Morris starting 32nd on the end of the tail of the lead lap. All right, Josh, what do you expect to see here coming to the green flag as Josh Lokovitz leads us to the green?
Man, I expect to see these guys taking it easy for the first couple laps, kind of feeling out their truck, see what they got. And as the laps wind down, we'll see some aggression, and I'm sure we're going to see some 2 and 3 wide racing tonight here at Talladega. We've seen in a couple of our other leagues 3 and 4 wide racing here at Talladega, so we'll have to see how these guys are able to manage their tires and hold their cars throughout the race.
Yes, sir, and I think we're going to have a good, tight race here. I think these guys show a lot of respect for each other week in and week out, and, man, you see some 3 wide racing for sure. All right, Josh Lokovitz, Jeff Paisley, Ray Page, and William Griffith's going to lead us to the line. It's going to go on the green flag. There you'll see the lights turn red. That means go. I know it sounds backwards, but it's true. Here we go. As they come through the trial, they'll hit the short chute, and that green flag will wave. Green flag is in the air, and we're racing here at Talladega Super Speedway. That 79 machine of Josh Lokovitz getting a decent start up through the gears here.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see where the pushing and shoving starts and where the energy is going to come from. And right now, we see that high lane really starting to form up real well right now. The bottom lane is really spread apart. So I imagine the energy is going to come from the top lane here as they start rolling down the backstretch.
And as Jeff Paisley starts to get a little push from William Griffith down into turn 3, might see a little bit of side draft here on the entry to the corner. That's where it gets a little sketchy. You get that top line starts to pinch, try to really get that run off of turn 4 as they come through 3 and 4 now.
Yeah, and as they come off of turn 4 here, side by side, again, Ray Page giving Josh Lokovitz a great push here. Jeff Paisley, though, on the outside, he's got a little bit more help as that top lane's really starting to form up as they come through the trial. One car, the 25, push it up a little bit high here, but it looks like the leader of first lap is going to be Jeff Paisley.
Yeah, so Paisley led it at the line there just barely, I think, because, man, in the video, in the TV screen, you could see it was a little bit different, it looked like, but, man, just barely. But Paisley falling behind as they come through turns 1 and 2. Lokovitz and Page having a little bit of a push here down the inside. On the backstretch, only 4 cars real tight on that high side. That's really costing them a little bit of time on that outside line.
Yeah, and I've been watching some aggressive moves here by Richie Oman going top to bottom. He's the one that kind of got a little pushed out there coming through the trial earlier, but now he's tucked down on that bottom lane trying to get the energy on the bottom lane going. As they come through the tri-oval to complete lap number 2. And Josh Lokovitz is going to lead that one as they come back into turns 1 and 2, side by side. The whole field for the first 15 rows right now, or I'm sorry, the first 10 rows right now are side by side as the middle now starts to break up a little bit. Here comes Rederer down to the inside of the 98. As he's going to make that move work. And now Rederer's making some moves now. happen. So I already got a couple of drivers up some positions already. We see Aaron Adcock up 5 spots, Christopher Heiner up 4 spots, Matt Geis up 6, Alex Veith up 6. So already early in the race, some big movers as they work off of turn 4. Now we're starting to see that bottom lane really starting to lead and get something going here as Josh Lokovitz is really pulling that bottom train around. But here comes Paisley back on the outside, and at the line, Paisley's going to lead that lap. Paisley might be clear here as they go into turn 1. He's going to clear Lokovitz. And William Griffith now on the high side, trying to make that high lane work.
Yeah, Griffith making a little move here on that outside line. And I don't know what happened with Kinder. It's saying he's out. I don't know what's going on with that. That was weird in the thing. And Griffith now by a nose coming down the backstretch.
Oh, we got some 3 wide in the middle of the pack now. The 23 is trying to make a move on the high side all by himself out there.
And you can see just how tight it is here on that outside line, man. As he ducks back in finally, he's getting a good run. That's why he keeps doing this. He's getting a really good run. These trucks suck up really well to the guys in front of him. And as you can see, they go down the backstretch again, 2 wide still. But we're going to keep an eye on that 23 machine here.
So as they come through the tri-oval again, we got some 3 wide up at the front here, trying to make that third lane work. We just right on the top board here of the 23 of Aaron Adcock. Now he's going to that high side, trying to make something happen here. You see Wetstein running to the outside here, trying to make that third lane work. They're going to tuck back in now. Some great racing already. A couple cars making some aggressive moves early in the race. And already you see a couple cars pushing up the track just a little bit. They could be, and as a super speedway driver, that's one of 2 things. Either A, they're trying to keep their trucks cool, or B, they're trying to tell the trucks behind them that they want to go to that outside and make that outside work. But right now, it looks like everybody's kind of content just sitting here, single file, or double file, excuse me, trying to make things, trying to make it to the end of the race.
And as we watch Aaron Adcock, he's still one of our top movers up to that 13th position. That outside line definitely helped him. Now we got that right paint for him in that Bud machine.
So now we're right on top of William Griffith's car, our spotlight driver. You see him pushing Josh Lokovitz right here. Give him that bump in the corner. That's not the best place to be given a bump. Now he's going to tuck right up on that back bumper. Give him a big shove down the backstretch. You see on the outside, they're starting to come. Here comes the 41 of Ray Page. And to me, I think this is probably the hardest position to be on the track, being that pusher on the bottom lane, because you know you can't push up, but at the same time, you can't see anything in front of you. And you're just trusting that that truck in front of you is just going to hold their line so you can push them right along and not spin them out.
Yeah, it's tough. And if you're watching, You don't really realize how sweaty and how much these guys are working behind the wheel, but man, that can give you a good little view of what's going on inside that 12 machine here as he comes off a turn 2 down the backstretch. He's really leaning on that leader. He's got to keep him out in front of that 41 of Ray Page as they go down the backstretch, because his job is to keep us clear of him. As you see now from the back of the field, Eddie Moore is starting to make his way up to the back. Actually have like 2 breakaways here. I'm going to go back to the full race viewing. We're going to look at this. We got a breakaway. We got one group of guys who have fallen off the back a little bit, and one group that's content with riding.
It's a smart move to get in that second group, because you never know what could happen up at the front here. As you saw, those guys were already starting to be really aggressive. Sitting in the back, kind of riding around right now, it's a safe place to be.
It sure is, and these guys showing a bit of speed still. They're lining up. They're working together to keep pace with the field, but not really falling away. I mean, I don't know that that's such a great gap there, Josh. What do you think? It's over 4.5 seconds now.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too much of a gap, but it's still early in the race. We're gonna have some green flag pit stops coming up soon, and you know, as far as yellow flag is going to come out, we know it. So they're in a good place right now, I think.
Back to the front, Griffith still pushing on Josh Lokovitz, keeping him out front. Paisley's into that 3rd spot. He's looking to get up in front of Ray Page. Just not happening right now.
Yeah, Ray Page was right up against Griffith before, but I think in the 35 of Kyle Roberts got a little too hot, had to back off a little bit, and that outside lost their momentum.
Yeah, so talk to me more about that heat and that buildup of heat. Why are we running a little warm? Why do they have to back off?
So when you're pushing, you're right up against that truck in front of you. You have no air going into the radiator. So you can see the 35 right now pushing on the 41 of Ray Page. That radiator is completely blocked off at the moment. So you'll see him dip down low, get a little bit of air to the radiator, cool that motor off, because as you push, the engine gets hotter, the oil water temperature creep up, and as it gets hotter, you're just asking for trouble. As you know, it's a great view of that back bumper, and where that inlet is right at the bottom of the underneath where it says Silverado, as we're actually inside the bumper a little bit. But you see right underneath where it says Silverado, that's the only air inlet that these motors have. So just like your street car, you don't want it to overheat. So unfortunately, when there's no air going into that inlet, that's just going to cause the truck's temperature to rise up. And optimally, you want to be below 280 degrees. Once you start rising up there, that's when you start getting close to popping the motor, and nobody wants to blow a motor here at 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, that gap that just happened because Paisley jumped up is really going to hurt that bottom line here coming through the trial bowl. I might see Ray Page get the lead here. Although the 35 looks like he's still a little bit warm, still peeking that right front nose out. Ray Page almost clear, not quite. Lokovitz with a big push from Griffith into turns 1 and 2. We'll see if they can clear through 1 and 2 now. They got a good run through the middle of 1 and 2.
Yeah, no, one car pushes up the track just a little bit, gets back down. That looked like the 99 of Brandon Wallace on the bottom lane there. Just got a little pushy there.
Yeah, that was a Matt Knight's pucker moment if I ever seen one. Boy, woo! He pushed up the track. I thought he was taking out Paisley for sure. He held on to it. They kept it in line, but man, he looks a little nervous. He's not really quite sure about getting too close to Griffith, it looks like here.
Yeah, it looks like he's just not handling real well. Either that or he's just got spooked a little bit from that outside line, pinching a little bit. So it's a whole bunch of things that go on when you're racing like this. It's so tight that the slightest move can spell disaster. Now that bottom lane now with the energy, and what I mean by energy is the trucks are lined up in such a way that bottom lane is going to have the movement. That's the one that's moving forward right now. As you can see, that top lane, because there's nobody behind the 35, it's just starting to stall out a little bit. That's why Paisley's not being able to get up there. But now that there's a gap behind the 12 of Griffith, now that high lane starting to wind up, and now they've got some help from Jeff Paisley too, as now the top lane has the energy as they come into the tri-oval.
Oh, they're flying. They found the time to go. Ray Page is clear. Let's see if he gets down in front of Lokenvitz. Looks like he's going to stay high with his partner here as they shoot through the short chute. And will he stay up? He's going to stay up. He said, this is my partner, and I'm dancing tonight.
Yeah, and they're also catching a lap car right now, so this could be interesting, as we'll have to see if that lap car stays high or if they drop down onto the apron, because you never want to be the lap car that causes an issue.
Yeah, that's the last guy you want to be. As we look on from the nose of the 25 machine of Rich Yeoman, as he's following Tia Swank here down through the corners, you can see that space he's giving him. That's not really helping that bottom line at all, and that's why those guys on the outside line are able to make up ground as they're passing that 76 machine, excuse me, of
Garrett Kinder.
Yeah, Garrett Kinder having some issues early on.
Yeah, he might have had a connection issue or something. That's why he fell to the back. But long race, he's got time to make that lap back up.
So lots of race left here. You can see some of these guys hanging out at the back, just waiting for something bad to happen. That's kind of the name of the game, Josh. I'm with Eddie Morris on this one. I like to hang out back there and just watch what's going on up front. It doesn't look too racy right now, which, you know, lends itself to, man, it's going to be really racy at the end.
Yeah, and that second pack, unfortunately, is 9 seconds back from the lead pack. So they're in a little bit of trouble back there.
Yeah, they've really fallen off the back here, which is easy to do if you're not paying attention.
And that backpack just is not lined up the way they should be. They're just kind of spread out a little bit too much. Not pushing on each other.
They've had a blinker on the back of the pack as well. I don't know if that's part of it, but yeah, they got to be closer than that. They got to be running what we call the Q lap, which is down in the corners, a little bit of roll off the corner to the center or so, maybe a little higher, and then back to the apex of the corners through the turns. But
we got battle for the lead right now is Ray Page. Almost cleared, almost got clear again, but he fell back. Still getting pushed, though, real hard by Kyle Roberts.
And Kyle Roberts better watch them temperatures on that outside line, man. I'm scared for him as they come through the trial one more time. Ray Page still looking to get to the front. If I was Kyle Roberts, I'd be yelling at him, hey, man, when I get you clear here, you got to go down because I'm cold or I'm hot. As actually, he looked like he got shuffled out there for a second. He was peeking out. He's back to the bumper now, Ray Page, as they head through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, and I don't know if he was shuffled out or he was just trying to get air to the front end of that, because he's been right up on that back bumper. There he goes again to the high side. As we're actually on board right now with Kyle Roberts, as you can see what he's seeing right from the driver's eye.
Yeah, now that he's clear, he's letting that thing cool down, and Jeff Paisley now sneaking up behind him. He's going to give him a shove. And now Lokenvitz and Paisley with the fresher pushes. This might get a little racy here as we come working lap 18.
And again, you see just how small that inlet is underneath there. It says Tundra on the side-by-side. So that's all the air that truck's getting in. And when it's pushed right up on that back bumper, that means no air is getting in there. And that's going to cause problems for the engine as it just slowly overheats. Big bump from the 7 there as they get up to the lead. Oh!
Wow. Wow. I switched that at the wrong time, man. Jeff Paisley getting down in front of Ray Page with a huge push on that 35 machine. They were able to clear both cars down to the bottom here. As Paisley working through through the tri-oval and pushing that 35. Now Paisley back up high after making a daring move to get down. Down the backstretch they go, and Kyle Roberts leads the way. He's got Ray Page tucked up real tight on him. That outside line kind of losing its momentum here as Christian, the coach, Dedman, not really leaning on Jeff Paisley as they start to fall back. Off of turn 4 they come, down through the short chute. You see Lokenvitz kind of looking up. He might get up here in front of in front of Jeff Paisley. Maybe not. We'll see if he's got anything going. Now Dedman's starting to close that gap a little bit more, getting a little bit more comfortable with Paisley's line, and that takes a little bit of work, right? Working with guys maybe you don't necessarily bump draft with all the time, having to visualize their line and know where they're going to be so you don't turn them and stuff like that.
Yeah, as that bottom lane now is starting to be the lane that's moving, as you can see. The top lane now is starting to be forming up just a little bit better now. They're making a move towards the outside here.
Kyle Roberts still leading this thing with Ray Page giving him a shove through turns 3 and 4. Lokenvitz really just biding his time. Same with Griffith, our spotlight driver, just hanging out back there. Not in any big hurry, not in any daring maneuver type stuff going on, so.
And as we're lurking lap 22, halfway through this lap, I imagine these guys are getting pretty close to pitting pretty soon. These trucks can go about 28 to 32 laps on a fuel run. So you should be seeing some people ducking on the pit road. Some people might duck on the pit road a little bit early, trying to split this race in half. If you would have saw the car that he was running on Friday night, you'd understand.
Hey, so as they come through the trial, we hear Ray Page just shoving Kyle Roberts out to the front here. I wonder if Ray's going to just move up. Looks like he's starting to get a little bit of air to that radiator to see him peek up here on screen. And for Kyle Roberts, it's just looking out the windshield. But man, if you look behind him, a little bit different. As we look inside of Ray Page's car as he leans on him coming down this backstretch.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do. You want to be right up against them the best you can. Just give them that big push, that big shove down the straightaways. And yeah, as I'm looking right now, that second pack is in big trouble as they are 19 seconds off the pace.
Yeah, that's almost half a lap here, Josh, as we start to work lap 24. Without a caution, those guys are in some serious trouble as we're 3 wide. Oh, we got one in the wall. They hang on to. They're 4 wide now through the pack. Lots of people scattering. They're keeping it together, though. Oh, that's going to shake things up here at the front as you saw the 98, I believe, get into the wall. If you could pull that back, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm pulling it back.
As Kyle Roberts still out to that front. Jeff Paisley still on the high side, still working. As now Adcock's coming in the picture in that 23 machine, in 9th spot now. And here we go. We'll show you what happened there. All right, one more second as we get it straightened out for what happened there coming through turns 3 and 4. Here we go. Josh, you got it. You see 4 wide there. They're wrecking. Some bumping. Some serious damage for the 98 machine there. That's going to be Sam Wetstein with some serious issues there on the outside line as you see them working through the try over there in the replay. Back to the front, though.
Well, you know what that ended up doing is that spread out the field quite a bit, and now that second group actually has some help coming to them, as Eddie Morris has dropped all the way back there.
Eddie's got some right side damage here, Josh. I'm not sure if it happened in that exchange there or not, but Kinder's tucked up close to him. I don't think it's going to slow them down very much, but I think that's actually a different pack now, Josh, because we have Ryan Rupert's packs 14 seconds off the pace, and then Zach Wetstein and them are about 7 seconds off, with Keith Lichtner being the furthest off in the 16th spot here.
Yeah, so you've got a couple different packs, and that really just spread the field out even more. As you see, Kyle Roberts now taking the lead.
The cool thing with super speedway racing is it takes a really long time to get lapped as long as you're at race speed. And if you're not part of that front pack, it's likely you're not going to be caught up in this wreck that's going to happen. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, the 98 finally decides to come to pit road, get his damage fixed up.
Matt Geis is also in that. He's kept with this front pack, though. He's got some serious left rear damage, though, that machine. But he's still here. He's on that outside line, 5th car back. Still with good speed as they make a... Oh, here they go. They're wrecking. Big wreck at the front.
Big wreck.
Got some on the roof. That's going to take us to our first Wreckage Rewind of the night.
You'll see at the bottom of the screen that the 3 jives down to the bottom, and at the same time just gets turned right there up into Adcock, who once that happens, right into the corner, the track just blocks up and the rest of the field just comes piling in, unfortunately.
Yeah, the rest of the field being only those guys that were in that front thing. I was just talking about it about a lap before that. All these guys at the back of the field that aren't going to be there when this happens are going to be the guys who are benefiting from things like this happening. So as we're seeing that on screen right now, and that 35 machine, he should be looking to get to pit road here with some gas.
You see Matt Geis up on the roof, sliding down. So the 23 of Adcock involved. Josh Lokenvitz involved. So a lot of the guys that were running up at the front there all caught up in it. As we'll take a look at this from real time here. And you see just how fast it happens. Just no time to react.
As we watch our leaders here on pit road, you can see in the bottom of your screen, their times on and off pit road is Kyle Roberts, full time on and off, 41.8. Ray Page, 41.9. Baisley, 41.2.
Also, don't forget, guys, this race tonight in this league is sponsored by Thin Blue Line USA. Visit thinbluelinesUSA.com or Thin Blue Line on Facebook. Use Original Rebels TBL for 20% off at checkout. And also, tonight's race is brought to you by Hambone Productions.
All right, and check these guys out. They got an All-Star weekend coming up, Josh. I know I'm already into the All-Star race for taking a little win here earlier in the season with one of their other leagues, but you're going to have to run in that All-Star Open Challenger on March 13th, and so you got to win to get into my race.
Hey, I still got an opportunity. I got Bristol on Friday night with these guys coming up. So, and then after Bristol, can't remember. I'm only looking a week ahead.
I think Eddie already told me he's going to beat you at Bristol, so I don't think that's going to happen. And but anyways, yeah, check them out. They're going to have that All-Star Weekend Auto Club in California. It should be a great race to watch Sunday, March 14th.
Yeah, I've got Bristol next week and then Atlanta the week after that. So I've got 2 chances to get in there.
All right, let's talk about our leader right now. Showing some speed out there. I won't say what his nickname is there on the front of that thing, but the old fire crutch. Kyle Roberts, Jeff Paisley on the outside, Ray Page in that 3rd spot. Tia Swank up to 4th now as they work through turns 3 and 4, and they're going to be seeing the green flag. William Griffith, our spotlight driver, in the 5th spot, and Josh Oswald on the outside of him. Josh Oswald, first time we've seen him really up in the mix here tonight.
Yeah, he's slowly moving his way up. Our biggest mover, though, so far is in the 7th spot, Logan Sturgeon, who's moved up 20 spots since the drop of the green flag. So expect him to keep moving forward as the pace truck is pulling off here.
And here we come to the green flag. Kyle Roberts. This restart will be on the driver, so when he's ready to go, he's going to go, and he's rolling. Green flag still hasn't officially come out. Green flag is out now. And Ray Page and him clear the guys behind him as Jeff Paisley tucks into that 3rd spot. We got a guy on the apron here coming off pit road. I think they'll stay clear of him.
Yeah, typically you don't want to get out to a big lead at a super speedway like that, but when you've got help doing it, it's all right. As now the 7 of Jeff Paisley jumps to the outside, and he's going to try to take advantage of that run and move to the lead here.
Yeah, I mean, between the run that he had coming to them, plus the lap down car, Paisley's clear. He decides not to get down. That's going to cost him here through the middle of the corner as he gets pulled back to Griffith here through the middle of the corner.
Yeah, a little bit of that side draft. There's a little bit of side draft in there done. And what side drafting is when you can get right alongside the truck and dump all the air that's coming off your truck. Your truck creates a wave. Think of like a wave of water as it comes over. And if you can dump that wave onto the back bumper, or excuse me, the back spoiler, you're just going to drag that car down. So you see right now, they're spread out quite a bit. There's a truck length between the two, but if you can get right down on that door, you can slow that truck down that's on the inside or outside of you, depending where you position your truck.
Look at the side of Kyle Roberts' car, and they're not really pinching him down, but you can see behind him Jeff Paisley giving a little bit of pull here as he comes up off the corner now with Griffith behind him as they come down the back stretch. Through the front stretch into the tri-oval. Ray Page still working that bottom line here behind Roberts.
Yeah, now we're separating into a couple different groups again. As you can see, we've got the lead group here, and then you got another group that's kind of fallen back a little bit, and then you've got that 3rd group that is way back there. So some people are trying to be a little conservative here.
And it looks like some of these guys that just used their resets are trying to kind of hang off. Aaron Adcock not complacent there with staying back there. Eddie Morris hanging off the back here as well. They don't want to be there, but they're there.
Yeah, these guys do have 2 resets, so 2 fresh trucks if something was to happen. A lot of these guys have already used one up, so they try and save their trucks for the end of the race. Because we already saw one big one, and trust me, I don't think that's going to be the only one we see. It's pretty interesting. That bottom lane is really formed up right now, running single file. We got a second group that are kind of sitting back there, trying to make a run up to the front here. As they rumble down the backstretch, now you see a little bit of a side draft from Jeff Paisley down that down that backstretch there. He came down, just tried to get near that door of the 41 of Ray Page to kind of slow him down. Unfortunately, looks like William Griffith didn't get the memo because he had to back out of it and slow that top lane down. But now they're back hooked up and making that high lane work.
And you talked about him a little bit ago, but he's up 20 spots up to the 7th position. Logan Sturgeon from Warren, Ohio, age 27, working his backside off here to keep that thing clean and get it to the front as they work through lap, 35, 25 to go.
Yeah, and for some of these people, it's go time. 25 to go. We got a wreck here. The 35 got turned. Oh, he holds on to it. Oh, now he's spinning through the infield. Oh, don't come back up on the track. Oh, and he's going to hold on to it, and we're going to stay green.
Wild turn of events there for the 35. A push gone wrong, it might have been like, Josh, I'm not sure here.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Let's see if we can dial that up and do a side-by-side here, see what happened. As you see, a little push gone wrong there and loses it right in front of the field. You see Ray Page taking evasive actions there, trying to get out of the way, and he just gets clipped again by Ray because he's got nowhere to go. He's sliding. He's out of control at that point. Does a really good job here keeping it off the wall.
And he doesn't get slides through the grass, doesn't get back up into traffic or anything. These guys just continue on. Tough break for both of those guys, but man, what a save by the 35 there as he comes back. I thought for sure he was getting wiped out here coming back to the track.
Yeah, as he's able to hold on to it and keep it going straight. Incredible.
As we look back at the front here, they're working 23 laps to go. Paisley now at the point. And Josh Oswald working that high side as well. I'm sorry, the low side there in that third spot. On the outside, you got Tia Swank. And William Griffith, our spotlight driver, moves up to that high side. He wants Tias to push him to the point. Let's see what Tias has for him here in this race. All right, forgive me about the 24 machine. That's Chris Heiner. He's a lap down, but he's up here in the mix, kind of helping these guys push this thing around. So Tia Swank with Griffith there in front of Heiner. Alex Veith in the 13 machine, one of his better tracks and finishes so far, as he's up 21 positions as well. So here we go. If he can hold it there, that'll be a great finish for him. And check Alex out. He's going to start broadcasting this week with Matt Knights on a Monday Night League. Hey, Josh?
Yeah, the Average Joe Dirt League starts tomorrow night. So check that out tomorrow. Listen to Alex calling the race along with Matt Knights. It'll be a good one for sure. Some dirt track racing on Monday nights.
Diaz looking high, maybe trying to get a little air to the front end there coming through the turn. But he ducks back in behind William Griffith as they come through the tri-oval. Josh Oswald really minding the gap here. I heard... Oh man, I heard on the broadcast today, the NASCAR broadcast, I heard
Yes.
Mike Joy talking about minding the gap, and I started dying laughing. My wife was asking me why I was laughing. But... As they race down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4.
And as I ride along with a couple of these guys, I'm hearing a lot of lifting in the middle of this pack. So there's a lot of checking up and a lot of moving around here as you see these guys. Yeah, these guys are really pushing hard as we're coming down to the end of the race here.
Yeah, that 12 machine of William Griffith, man. All he needs is a little bit more help there from Tias. He needs to really lean on him. And I think as we will get these laps to wind down, you're going to see those guys really start to make some more risky maneuvers here. As we see a lot of shuffling left and right there off of turn 2. Rest in peace, Ray Cobb, 45 machine.
So William Griffith now has a great run on the high side. He's getting a good push now, and he's moving his way up there. As now he's up almost alongside Jeff Paisley here as they go into 1 and 2.
Swank just riding there on that top line, keeping that machine cool. You see him peeking out right. Heiner getting a little antsy for a lap count car. He's going 3 wide now down the backstretch. He's going to duck back in.
He's trying to get his lap back so he can get, if something was to happen here, if he can get in front of these guys and stay away from the wreck. Typically, the wreck doesn't happen with the first car. We've seen it happen with the 41 of Ray Page there, but you typically don't see the lead car having the issues. One car slides way up high. That Tia Swank?
Yeah, Tias got loose. I don't know if Heiner was leaning on him a little bit there, but got really out of whack here as he now 3 wide, getting shuffled to the back here as they work through the corner. Beef is going to slide up there behind Heiner now as they start to lean on William Griffith.
Yeah, that high side all alone is not where you want to be. You're just going to fall back there like a rock, as you can see. Tias not having any fun back there. Trying to up into the wall. He hangs on to it.
Wow, what a save. What a bunch of drivers back there, man. They're giving each other the space to correct and everything. As they come through the tri-oval, they're working lap 16 to go. And William Griffith to the point now. He's got a nose over Paisley. Let's see if he gets down in front of him. Not going to clear yet. Heiner really pushing on him as Heiner's going to get him a good run down the backstretch. They should clear down the backstretch here.
Yeah, what I'm interested to see is if these guys have enough fuel to make it to the end. As I mentioned, they can only run about 28 to 32, 34 laps, which is going to be really close to our finish here.
As you can see, we've already run 15 or 16 laps, depending on who you were. Some of those guys that have 16 laps or went in because they were wrecked machines, but 15 laps is the lowest number of laps that these guys have turned. And man, yeah, you're right, Josh. It's gonna be a barn burner. We'll see Some of these guys that fell off the back, they might have been thinking that from the gate.
So we got a change for the lead up here.
Griffith is clear. He's going to stay high. Nope, he's going to swing down. Oh, he wasn't clear. Big one.
Yeah, he came across the radio and said that his spotter said he was clear. That's why he moved down. Unfortunately, it does not look like that was the case, but it happens. It's part of Super Speedway racing as we got the Wreckage Rewind all dialed up. You see he's looks like he's clear there, but when he pulls down, just right down in front of Jeff Paisley. You see again the big wreck all going on. Great driving for a couple of these guys getting through their evasive maneuvers, but
As we watch the leaders catch up with the pace car here, we're going to try to get you a different angle, and just so we can see if there was any net code there. From my standpoint, it looked like there might have been just a hair in net code, but I'm not sure. We're going to take a closer look at this one as Griffith, our spotlight driver of the day, having a great race, but just missing the mark here on the swoop down. All right, here we go.
so you can see right now he is clear. And as they come off the corner here, yeah, Paisley's got a little bit of a run here. This is where Griffith is going to start to try to come down, and yeah, he's definitely not clear.
Yeah, he's just late on that. He was clear for a while there, and you know that's slow mo, so it's not a while, but he was clear for a couple of seconds, maybe a second, and had the chance to get himself down there and get clear. But yeah, that's going to be the big one here for Griffith. That's going to cost him probably the race. We'll see. Paisley holding his line there really well, not letting him take advantage of that.
Yeah, and we can actually bring this back real quick and do this in real time so you can see really how fast this happened. As he's clear, now he makes the move down, and it's split second.
Yeah, any hesitation when you're trying to do that, man, that can really mess you up. And we've been victims of that as well. They're going to be working back down the backstretch here. I wonder if anybody's going to hit pit road, Josh.
As I imagine, some of these guys might come in here and come to pit road and take some fuel to make it to the end and make sure if we do have a couple green white checkers that they can get through.
I don't think anybody's going to come to pit road, Josh. I think they're going to stay out. What do you think?
I think some people in the back might come in and pit. Well, it looks like everybody's driving right on by.
As we watch that pit road entrance on our side-by-side. Anybody late in the field going to hit pit road?
Not a single person. was not what I was expecting right there.
Yeah, well, varying strategies, varying fuel limits. Maybe they already are good to go, Josh. Maybe, don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be tight here. I think for some of these people, especially the ones that have been running up at the front, running up on the high side. I mean, you are saving fuel here, running under yellow, so we'll see how this works out for them.
We do have one or two green-white checkers, I think, right?
Yeah, we'll have 3 attempts if needed.
Yeah, so 3 attempts if needed on the green-white. And man, so I mean, if you ran to three green-white checkers, you might be in a little bit of trouble on that fuel strategy. So. Paisley, Oswald, Veith, Yeoman, Geis, and Redder are your top 6. Rupert 7th, Mickey Isaac 8th. Bill Manzo up to the 9th spot, and rounding out your top 10 is going to see Dave Jones.
Yeah, and this is really showing it doesn't really matter at a super speedway where you start. How about where you finish? Because Alex Veith up 25 spots, Matt Geis up 21 spots, David Jones in 10th, he's up 19. Kernan Church up 19. Another one, Eddie Morris up 16 positions, sitting in 15th. So a bunch of guys making some big moves. And unfortunately, when you see guys making big moves that way, that means we've got some drivers that made some big moves the other direction, unfortunately. Guys like Josh Lokovitz, who's down 24 positions. William Griffith, who we just saw get caught up in that incident as the pace truck is off.
Paisley's rolling. Yeah, Paisley's rolling, and he's got Oswald behind him. Oswald dips down behind him as Paisley gets a good jump. And then in that 3rd spot, Alex Veith. Veith looking outside. He's going to roll in behind him. Man, Paisley had an early shift there. It looked like he didn't want to get out too far in front of these guys, so he shifted a little earlier. But Redderer, seeing that checkup on that bottom line, he's coming. Here comes Redderer to Oswald's bumper. They're going to push right past them. They're flying.
Yeah, a little breakaway from these front 6 cars as they rumble down the backstretch into turn 3. As they come through turns 3 and 4, that inside lane's prevailing. You see Alex Veith now giving a big push to Jeff Paisley. He's made his way up there, and I imagine he's going to try to make some moves happen here as we're coming down to the nitty-gritty of this race.
And Oswald now getting left outside by himself. Redderer ducks into that 4th spot on the bottom line. And here comes, wide. I was going to say, here comes Matt Geis.
Oh, he got one around.
Eddie Morris gets a little bit on the front of him. He gets through it. It's going to cost a little bit of damage to that right front. But yeah, another big one here.
As we see Mickey Isaac get turned here by Ray Page. Unfortunately, nothing he could really do. And the 76 Garrett Kinder, just a innocent bystander, gets hit in the door. Eddie Morris getting a little piece of that as well. There's Sturgeon getting caught up in that.
Kinder getting spun around there. The 76 machine's going to come down back across the track. Front of the 98, Ray Page up into the wall. Ooh, Kinder gets some air.
At this point, the track's just blocked, and good checkup from those guys in the back there, and he'll avoid it. We see Charlie Elmore get some air, too, off the nose of Kinder.
So that kind of throws that fuel strategy, I think, out the window unless we get a couple of green-white checker situations. But I think now with this extra caution, we're going to have enough time under caution to make it to the end, Josh.
Yeah, I would agree. I think right now these guys staying out, put them in the catbird seat, and we're going to have a great run to the end here. I don't think it was Eddie.
Ray Page is rolling again down pit road. Looks like he's still got some damage. Dave Jones on pit road. He's rolling as well. Kyle Roberts on pit road. That's a good break for him. I don't know how many laps down he is right now. We'll have to check into that for you. But after being spun from the lead, so Kyle Roberts, no laps. Kyle Roberts, 1 lap down. He's been on pit lane now for a minute 40 seconds. And it looks like he's just trying to get that damage fixed without having a fast repair here. Zach Wetstein, your points leader. He's found himself up into the top 10 now, up to 9th.
So Jeff Paisley, our leader right now. Alex Veith with that sweet, sweet mullet we always talk about. Third, Rich Yeoman. Brett Rederer up 10 spots. Try to make something happen here towards the end. Josh Oswald in the 17, having a great run up in the top 5. Matt Geis up 20 spots. He's rolling off 6 right now. And you've got Kernan Church up 23 spots in the 7th. The winner from last week. Philip Manzo having a great run here in the 44 machine. He's up to 8th. Zach Wetstein, he's up at 4th, our points leader. And then Brian Rupert rounding out your top 10 in that 48 machine. That's your top 10 right now. And you can see some big movers and shakers through the field so far. So it'll be great to see what these guys can do as we're just coming down to a handful of laps to the end here.
Yeah, it's been a fun-filled race. I mean, these guys racing hard at the front. I imagine we're going to see some more 3-wide action here as we move towards these last 7 or 8 laps. Maybe 20 laps, depending on how many green-white checkers we have. But, yeah, it's going to get a little wild here, Josh, I think.
Yeah, and I did see somebody put up in the Facebook chat a second ago, oh, the big one. So I wouldn't be surprised. We might have another big one. There's 7 laps to go. These guys are going to be racing for everything right here. And see, Alex Veith on the outside here. He's going to have a little bit of help here from Brett Rederer. We saw Brett make some aggressive moves earlier, so let's see what he can do here.
And they got a nice little decent line on that outside line. You got 3 or 4 cars that are pretty familiar with each other. You got Matt Geis up there, as well as Kieran Church. I'm sorry, I lied. That's not Kieran Church. The 44 of Phil Manzo even better. Brian Rupert, that outside line's looking pretty stall right now. As we watch Jeff Paisley here working through turns 3 and 4, he's been up there all night long. We'll see what he can do. And the pace truck dips off, and these car trucks are going to get themselves rolling one more time. Jeff Paisley, Alex Veith, Rich Yeoman on the inside, Brett Rederer on the outside. What do they got on the outside line? Let's see here. Paisley with a decent jump. Yeoman actually getting a better jump than Veith here. But Rederer and Veith are hooked up. Rederer's looking inside for 3 wide. Veith closes the door. Alex Veith holding tough on the outside line by himself. As they head down through turn 2 and down the backstretch, Rederer still looking to that inside. Veith needs help here. Everybody's going around Alex on the outside. Wetstein pushing Kieran Church with Christian, the coach, Deadman. Yeah, they're going right around him. But he's not done yet.
Here comes Logan right now with a push to the inside, or a push to Veith here. So maybe he can make that middle line come back up, as you see that 22 of Kieran Church there with a great push on the outside.
Coach not clear, but Veith lifted for him, it looked like there. Veith still stuck 3 wide in the middle.
Oh, we've got it spin. 33 around. Oh, another big one here. Veith involved. Deadman involved. Oh, the 33 is tumbling down the backstretch. Sorry, the 3 is tumbling down the backstretch. Wow. That is the big one.
That would be the super big one as we get it pulled up.
So as they come off the corner, you see they're already starting to, the 3 got a little loose. Already started this one. See the 84 of Lottridge get pushed to the inside, but yep, Christian Deadman here, the coach, takes a wild ride down the backstretch. Matt Geis getting caught up in that as well. Their 3 just goes for a ride. Up into the catch fence. And then takes this wild ride down the backstretch.
As you see that really big one, and Eddie Morris just comes plowing in, trying to get through, find his way through, and the caution comes out. You see that car going up in the air there. We're gonna give you another little side-by-side here, and as Eddie blows up, nothing left for him there.
And as we're on board, Aaron Adcock here, who's got a front row view of this, and you can see everybody checking up, trying to get slowed down. He's on that high side. He sees the 3 truck spin right in front of him, and he's going to have a great view of that 3 truck going for a ride here. And you can just see how the track just closes up here. He had nowheres to go. And he's just an innocent bystander at this point. He's just along for the ride.
Man, that's a wild ride the 3 truck takes. I can't imagine doing that in virtual reality. Woo!
Let's take this same view. I'm just gonna rewind this. I'm gonna play this at real time, just so you can see what I mean by how fast this happens.
That's wild the way that he tumbled down that front stretch there. Or back stretch, maybe. All right, big shakeup at the front. I don't want to jinx it or anything, but man, Zach Wetstein, Kieran Church, 2 of your race winners this season, they find themselves up in that front now. They knew when it was time to go, and they made stuff happen.
Yeah, Jeff Paisley up there, and I believe Jeff's won a race this year too.
That is true. Jeff has won a race. As you can see here on your screen, the standings. Currently, Zach Wetstein with 4 wins, Garrett Kinder with 1. And Jeff Paisley winning a race last season toward the end of the season, I believe, Josh. And, yeah, man, these guys all in a mix up here, though, trying to get to the front. And I know Kieran Church had the win last week, right?
Yes, he did at Bristol, as we are in our first attempt at a green-white checker.
And Kieran just hasn't found himself into the top 15 in points yet, but once he's up there, he'll have a little win in that mark column there. Working down the backstretch. Like you said, first attempt at green-white checker, we only had 4 cautions. Not bad for a super speedway race, as we know that it can get a lot worse than that, especially with 2 resets. But
yeah, that's for sure.
It's not over either yet, Josh.
No, these guys are going to have 2 attempts at a green-white checker. So if the leader's going to take the green flag, if he takes the white flag, that will be the flag that ends the race. So we will go around again and finish it off. If the yellow flag does come out before he takes the white flag, we'll have to re-rack him and try it one more time.
Kieran Church leads us to the green flag as we come down the short chute. That pace truck dips off to its left. And Kieran Church is going to hold him. He's going to go now, but Zach Wetstein, pretty savvy to it. He's going to be able to dip in behind him as Jeff Paisley ducks into that 3rd spot. I don't think Jeff's going to be comfortable sitting there, though. I think he's going to want to find himself on that high side, but it looks like the 79 of Jason Lokenvitz now working that outside. Sorry, Josh Lokenvitz.
Yeah, and I think Kernan and Zach got out to too big of a lead here. I think this is going to hurt them here as the field's really spread out, but they're going to get a great run. That's Jeff Paisley and Lokenvitz are going to get a great run here as they come down the front stretch, I think. Now we see the 98 of Sam Wetstein. He's coming up to the back bumper of Paisley. And we got a big run on the outside. That's Ray Page and Mickey Isaac coming around the outside of Lokenvitz right now. As the white flag's in the air, we have just 1 lap to go.
Paisley better get up here. This is his last shot. There he is. He's going to try to get up in front of Page, but it's going to force Page to go 3 wide. Paisley not making that attempt very good. He's stuck in that third spot. He needs to get up in front of Ray Page here, though.
Now Ray Page getting that great shove by Mickey Isaac here. If I was Josh Logovitz, I would hop up in that high side to try to. They get into each other. Sam gets into the back of Paisley. That's going to allow that high side to really get a good run here, coming through 3 and 4. As they come off of turn 4, you see the side drafting happening. Ray Page trying to get up there, trying to make something happen. Isaac now to the outside to take him 3 wide. He's going to tuck back in behind Ray Page. Here comes Zach to the outside, but Kiernan Church is going to win it here.
Kiernan Church going to take 2 in a row. Zach Wettstein making a late move, but way too late, Josh.
Yeah, way too late. He should have made that move coming off of turn 3. But, wow. Just incredible.
What a run by Kiernan Church to stay out of the fray and keep that thing out front for a green-white checker W. Thanks to Zach Wettstein with a great push for those last 2 laps.
And Mickey Isaac and Ray Page started 9th and 10th respectively. And they were able to work their way right back up there. So that's an incredible finish there for those two.
As we watch our winner, Kiernan Church, burn it down. He's going to win the Hambone Productions 150 from Talladega Super Speedway. And that's 2 in a row for that young man. Only 30 years of age from Mesa, Arizona. Zach Wettstein's going to come home 2nd in the Reaper Racing Machine. Ray Page 3rd. Jeff Paisley 4th. Mickey Isaac 5th. Sam Wettstein coming home 6th after getting into the wall early in the race. Josh Lokenvitz 7th. Rich Yeoman 8th. Matt Geist 9th. Brett Redderer saw some speed early and late, but ends up 10th. Josh Oswald in the 11th spot. Lance Sponberg's going to come home 12th. Phil Manzo with a decent finish in 13th. Mike Veith in 14th. Charlie Elmore 15th. Jason Lottridge 16th. Brandon Wallace 17th. Alex Veith, man, he was up there 18th once he got caught up in that sucker hole. 19th sees Tia Swank. 20th William Griffith, our spotlight driver. 21st Chris Heiner. 22nd Aaron Adcock. Garrett Kinder 23rd. Brian Rupert 24th. Christian the coach Deadman ends up 25th. These guys are all caught up in that late wreck. 26th Dave Jones. Magic Mike in the 27th spot. Eddie Morris 20. Logan Sturgeon 29th. Kyle Roberts 30th. McClendon 31st, and coming home last is going to be the 32 machine of Keith Lichenwald.
Ray, it's Josh and Joe in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
Man, great restart there. You and Mickey Isaac starting 9th and 10th on that restart and making your way back up into the top 3. I saw you have a couple of really good restarts throughout the race. How do you see it from your side?
Yeah, that last restart, the truck in front of me was underpowered, so I had to jump to the outside of him real quick, but it gave me a little bit of a pull to get up there where Mickey was, and then it was side drafting on the outside. They try to keep up with those guys up front, but Kiernan and Zach, I mean, they're tough on all tracks, but especially super speedways, so just to be able to get up there and have a chance at the end of it was an honor.
Yeah, it was an awesome race there. Anybody you would like to thank?
No, I mean, just, my buddy that owns Big Frig, he helps me out. And, I was telling the guys this before we got on, this being Talladega, I woke up, felt like I was pissing excellent this morning. So it was a good run all the way around.
Well, congratulations on that 3rd place finish. We'll see you again next week.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, we're going to pull in our 2nd place finisher now. Zach, Josh, and Joe in the booth. You got us?
Got it.
Hey, Zach. Man, you made a late move. Do you think it was a little too late there coming to finish, or did you want Kieran to win that thing?
I mean, we're both on Reaper Racing, and just first of all, big shout out to all those guys for working together here tonight. But biggest goal is just getting a 1-2 finish for Reaper, and if I could win, I would. But that outside line with Ray Page was getting too good of a run, so if I went with them, they might have forced me 3 wide. So I just decided to stick with Kiernan, and it worked out best.
Yeah, you guys have been having a couple of really good finishes. I know Kernan's now 2 in a row, and you mentioned your Reaper Racing teammates. Anybody else you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, the Thin Blue Line USA sponsoring us, Hambone Productions, everybody in this league, everybody in the series, Matt Geist for putting it all together, all the admins, and yeah, just Reaper Racing as well, and to you guys for broadcasting.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. Awesome finish. Way to push your teammate and help him make it 2 in a row. And we'll see you again next week.
Thank you, man. Hopefully I'll be first next week.
There you go.
And now our winner, Kernan Church. Kernan, Josh and Joe in the booth. You got us?
Gotcha.
Man, 2 in a row, going from the smallest track to the biggest track. You seem to be a jack of all trades here. How'd you see the race on your side?
It was pretty boring at the beginning. I lost the pack and was in a little pack of my own about 15 seconds back. And then luckily that caution came out and was able to hook up with my teammates, Zach and Coach. And that helped me get the win. If it wasn't for Zach, I wouldn't have been able to win this race.
Now, did something happen that fell you off the pace, or you just were kind of hanging out and ended up losing the draft? What happened there?
I saw a lot of people being aggressive at the beginning, and I kind of wanted to drop back a little bit. But unfortunately, when I dropped back, there was quite a bit of blinkers in the pack I was with, and they just weren't holding a solid line, so I couldn't catch back up. So we were just in our own little island.
Well, great job again, back-to-back wins. Anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, first off, I got to thank the series sponsors, Thin Blue Line USA, and then the race sponsor, Hambone Production. Appreciate all the sponsors for this series. It's a good thing to see. And then got to thank Reaper team over here and everybody that's on the Reaper team that helped today, and it was good. And then got to thank my sponsors, my race team at CGE, B-Leaf, 7 Seas Cruises, Pavement Marking LLC, Phantom GFX, and Orange Shoes Photography.
Awesome, man. Next week we move on to Dover. What's the chances of a three-peat?
I don't know how it'll turn out, but I'll give her hell.
All right, man. Well, congratulations again, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again next week.
Keep up with the podcast. It's cool to see.
I appreciate that.
All right, Josh, that about wraps it up here at Talladega Super Speedway. This is our stuff. I love Super Speedway racing. It gives me chills watching people make moves, especially the last lap. I don't know what it is. There's something about it. But Hambone Productions, the forum at Timebrook Square, 2072 Timberlake Road, Suite 7, Lynchburg, Virginia. Hambone is professionally designed, state-of-the-art digital recording environment where the best equipment and facilities provide the perfect setting for your next project at affordable prices. Get a hold of them, 434-229. If I'm butchering this, I'm sorry. 8264. Guessing that's what it is. But yeah, get a hold of them if you want to do that. Hambone Productions. And anything else you got?
Yeah, don't forget to check out the Thin Blue Line USA, thinbluelineusa.com, or facebook.com/Thin Blue Line USA, and use code Original Rebels TBL for 20% off at checkout.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to Kieran Church on that repeat win, and hopefully he can do it again next week. We'll see. 3-peat maybe. All right, and for Intensity Broadcast, and I'm Joe Wright. I've been joined by Josh Hall. If you're listening to this, like, follow, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get some info about it when we go live. Also, check us out on Spotify now and iTunes. As Kieran Church said, check out that podcast. We have some cool guests. We've had Dustin Dean this week. Check him out. And that'll be live for you guys either tonight or tomorrow, whenever Josh, gets finished messing around with it. And then, yeah. So for Intensity Broadcasting, as at Man Weiss would say,